Sweets again. This is just a quick video to show you guys some of the equipment that I like to use and the products, just so you kind of get an idea of maybe if you need to get anything before you order your mixes, so you'll be all ready to go. The first piece of equipment that I would recommend is a good stand mixer. This is going to make your life a whole lot easier when it comes to especially doing like cinnamon rolls and bread, because you're going to start off with the paddle attachment to get your dough going, and then you're going to switch to the dough hook. And on most of the breads, you're going to be kneading them for about 6 or 7 minutes with a stand mixer, and it's going to take you a whole lot longer to do that by hand. If you don't have a stand mixer, feel more than free to knead them by hand, but I do use a mixer myself, and that's what I recommend. The next piece of equipment that I like to use, especially for the cookies, are these little scoops. The 1 tablespoon scoop you can use for your truffles. I also use a silicone mold like this one. It's 1 tablespoon, and it makes it easy to portion out your truffles, whether it's peanut butter or cheesecake. But if you don't have those, you don't especially need them, because you can just let your mixture set up and then use this 1 tablespoon scoop to portion them out that way. Now I use a 1.5 tablespoon scoop for most of my cookies. It makes it easier to portion them out for nutrition purposes, and it also just gives them a nice uniform appearance. And this is my big scoop. It is 4 tablespoons, and I use it to portion out cupcake batter and muffin batter for the same reason, for nutritional purposes and just to make them even. And you can buy these smaller scoops at Walmart. This bigger one I did order off of Amazon, and I also ordered the silicone mold off of Amazon. And while we're over here, I'll go ahead and show you. These are the sugar-free chocolate chips that I use most of the time. You can get some from Lakanto and other brands, but these are easy to find. They're carried by Walmart. You have to get them at Walmart. They're the only place that carries them. I have gotten the Lakanto ones at Drug Emporium in Little Rock, and they work good as well. And this is the peanut butter that I recommend that you use in all of your peanut butter recipes, like the brownie chip cookies and the peanut butter whoopie pies. Anything that needs peanut butter, this is the kind that I use. It is the lowest carb that I could find, because as you can see, it's the total carbs in 2 tablespoons are 5 grams minus 3 fiber. So that's only 2 grams net carbs for 2 tablespoons, which is 1 net carb a tablespoon, and that's really good. The ingredients are roasted peanuts and salt. There's no sugar added. And again, that's the natural creamy peanut butter from Kroger. I also have an immersion blender here to show you. This is what I like to use when making the truffles, because it's easy to just stick that down in the bowl when you're mixing. It helps just smooth everything out better, gives a good consistency. And then on both of those truffles, I usually just put them in a Ziploc bag and pipe them into the mold that I showed you earlier. If you're not going to be using the truffle mold, then you can just put it in a bowl, let it set up, and then use your 1 tablespoon cookie scoop. This pan over here. Some more stuff to show you. This is a silicone baking mat. These things are wonderful. I always use these for pizza crust, because it's really easy. I just spread the pizza crust out to the edges here, and then it shrinks up a little bit as it bakes, but it does, it gives you a good uniform size so you can see what you're doing and it doesn't stick. The pizza crust comes right off of it. You can also use it for cookies. Anything you're going to be baking, you can use this. If you don't have a silicone mat, I mean, what I recommend is parchment paper. Parchment paper is your friend. And one thing to remember when you're baking low carb, everything sticks. Even if you're using parchment paper, you still need to spray it with a good coat of cooking spray, and that goes for anything you're making in the oven. Cupcakes, cookies, anything, you need to spray so they do not stick. I don't know what it is, but they love to stick. This right here is a little mini bundt pan. I ordered it off of Amazon. I have about a cajillion of these, but this is what I use for butter cakes and for the Death by Chocolate cakes. And you don't have to have one of these. I mean, it's not necessary at all, but it does give a cute appearance, you know, when you turn them out and you have the different shapes. But you can definitely use just a regular cupcake pan instead. Which, this is one of mine, and it is aluminum. I do like the aluminum pans better when you're baking low carb. It just seems to bake more evenly, and they don't get too brown on the bottom when you're waiting on your top to brown. I ordered this online, but you might could find them in the store. I'm not sure. I ordered these through Webstaurant. And last but not least, the bread pans. You can use I got this one at Walmart. It's just a regular size loaf pan. It works well for the keto bread. And once again, when you use these, you want to spray them. Do not be stingy on the cooking spray. Same thing goes for the cinnamon rolls. I use the little disposable pans, but you can use any 9-inch pie pan, and you're going to fit 6 in there. If you want to do the full dozen at one time, a 9x13 baking dish works. I think that's about it as far as the equipment and the products go. When it comes to your heavy cream and butter, things like that, I really don't have a preference. I've used name brand, I've used store brand. They all work well. The only thing I would suggest is to not use the Sam's brand of cream cheese if you're making cheesecake or something like that, because it tends to fall in the middle worse than any of the other brands I've tried. But I think that's about it for now. If you guys have any more questions or comments, just shoot me a message on Facebook and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Be watching either later on this week or early next week, because I'm planning on getting all my mixes bagged up and ready to ship. I'm waiting on the Amazon order to come in now so I can get started on all that. But I will make sure to make a Facebook post letting you guys know when everything's up on the website and ready for ordering. And I hope you're as excited as I am. Well, that's all I got to say for now. So I'll see you guys later. And until then, stay sinless.